you see, boom, we're live. So Marg Experience, this is as people are getting to know something new, just a new video podcast type deal that we're trying to get out there for the people to know who we are and what we do. Okay. You know, a lot of people have this stigma behind the agents, so relax.
The agents behind, like all agents or your agents?
Just in general, what do you think people think agents are? You know, like when you think of a Alameda sales guy, car sales guy, what do you think?
Yeah, sleazy, slimy.
And I think slowly but surely, people are starting to think that of realtors, you know, of agents, of the business in general.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to introduce, you know, the agents back to the people, and peel back a couple of the layers, you know, pull back the curtain and show them who they are, what they do on their free time.
Okay.
Things like that. So I see you're a Knicks fan.
I am a Knicks fan. Die hard. Knicks fan. Yes.
Where did that Knicks fan love come from?
I was trying to remember the other day. I don't remember. I mean, we all grew up as Jordan fans and maybe Bulls fans just because of all the hype.
Aren't you more like a Larry Bird fan?
And no, I'm not a Larry Bird fan. No.
Okay.
And then I remember for a couple of years, I liked the Suns a lot because of Barkley. Mm-hmm. I always thought Barkley has been one of my favorite players forever. Mm-hmm. He's just the way that he played in college and then coming out. And then when he made it to Phoenix and he was with Marley and Kevin Johnson, all those guys, and then shortly after that, well, not shortly after that, during that time, I was already following the Knicks.
Okay.
And the fights and the bad boys and, you know, all that stuff. And when Barkley left, you know, there was really nothing left but the Knicks. But I don't know. I don't know what got me into it.
Yeah.
No sé.
Have you been to live games, I'm assuming?
I've been to several live Knicks games everywhere except at New York. And I've never seen the Knicks win in person.
Ooh.
Every time I go see them, I've seen them in Dallas, in San Antonio, in Phoenix, in Utah, in
You've
Denver.
Seen them lose everywhere.
Everywhere I go, they lose. So
really? We went, my wife and I went to New York in February, and it was during All-Star Weekend. So I was like, oh, we'll catch a Knicks game, but I didn't know it was All-Star Weekend. So they were all in, I think it was ATL or something? Utah?
Yeah.
Wherever
Salt
it was.
Lake City.
Yeah. So there was no Knicks games. There was nothing, but we want to go. I just want to go to Madison.
I want to catch a game at Madison. I mean, I really do, but I haven't had the chance yet.
Yeah. Speaking of that, basketball, what do you think in regard? I know that, I mean, I've seen some of the clips and just LaFlop, just know right now you're talking about like the fighting era and the bad boy era of basketball. Right. How, in comparison to what's going on right now, what do you think?
I mean, it's a different game. It's a 3-point game. It's a fast-paced game. It's get to the foul line. I mean, those was really like the games that are decided by a couple. It's really who gets to the foul line the most.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different game. Some people like it, some people don't. I mean, I'm not a professional player. I don't own a team. I'm cool with it. It's you just got to get used to the style of playing. You'll always have the clips of, you know, the olden days, but I mean, to me, if it was my decision, yeah, I'd want it to be a little more in the paint,
aggressive.
And, yeah, you know, instead of dancing around the 3-point line and just throwing it up and hoping it falls. But I mean, I'm cool with it.
The finals are going on right now, right? Game 3, Game 4?
No, it's a second round.
Okay.
So it's a second round. It's a semifinals.
Oh,
so
okay.
There's 8 teams left.
But it's Golden State right now versus LA,
Golden State
right?
and the Lakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who's up on the series?
The Lakers are up right now, 2-1.
You think they're gonna take it?
They play tonight in LA, and if Anthony Davis shows up again, which statistically today Anthony's supposed to suck. That's just the way his game has been. So if he shows up, yeah, they win. Yeah. I think they win, and I think they can take the series. Are you leaning towards a
specific team?
In the Laker Warriors series?
No, I mean just in this
Lakers. I'll take the Lakers.
Yeah.
In that series, I would take the Lakers. The Knicks play tonight, so they play the Heat.
I'm a big Heat fan.
Who is?
This guy.
What do you know about the Heat?
Nothing, but
You just want to contradict.
Yeah.
I don't know. They play tonight. I mean, I'm gonna say they're gonna win. I don't know that I necessarily believe it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Cool.
I don't know.
And then taking it back a little bit to real estate, what is it that you've been? Where have you been? What have you been doing? Any news that are going on with you? What's up with that?
I mean, it's been. I was just talking to JC about it outside. It's like, I don't know. It's like every week is a different week. It's busy. Mm-hmm. Like you'll have busy streaks. Like my March was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think like
some would call it March Madness.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. That was stupid.
Yeah,
right.
March was crazy. Like March, between property management and regular real estate deals, I think it was like 7 transactions.
Okay.
Which is, I think like four new rental listings and then like 3 regular or 2 buyers and something like that. And then April was like so. May started off slow, but then this week seems to be a little busier than last week. So I don't know. It's hard to gauge right now. And then it depends on who you're working with. Like if you're under 200,000, it's a dogfight.
I know.
With anything, listing and buying and whatever. If you're like over 3, then it's sitting a little bit, and you gotta do work. Like you gotta, an Instagram post isn't gonna get it sold. So
exactly.
You gotta get out there and you gotta get back to like basics. New construction has been slow. Like this month has been a little slow. Last month, like the last 2 weeks picked up. We had a lot of activity. So I don't know. You just gotta, I don't know, the waves, the way that they hit you, or
just gotta ride the wave sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, really, it is.
How long have you been in the business? Did you start off as a real estate agent, or how long have you been doing this?
So I think this is my 9th year.
Okay.
I think this is my 8th year licensed, and then I did 1 year as a builder rep.
Okay.
I did 1 year of nothing but builder rep and construction, then got licensed, and I think this is my 8th year license. So 9 years altogether.
That's good. That's a long time.
I think it's something like that.
So you've seen different cycles in the market. You've seen high interest rates, low interest rates, good inventory, bad inventory.
I've seen the 1%. I've seen the high that we had last year. I remember when I first started in what's it called? Over there on the west side in the Upper Valley. What was it called where the festival was at?
Enchanted Hills?
No, so like down Artcraft to the right. What was it?
Borderland.
No, something Valley, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But anyways, when I came on, like that house had been on the market for like a year. Mm-hmm. And then they threw like promos and TVs and thermostats and open house and realtor tour, and it took forever to sell. Mm-hmm. I've been in those markets. I've been in the markets to where when we represented, a different builder, you had up until the house was marked complete. Mm-hmm. And then after it was complete, you had, I don't know, like 60 days, 90 days, something like that to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And then if you didn't sell it, you got rid of the listing. Like you lose it.
Yeah.
And go somewhere else. And you start, losing money on it, So I've seen all kinds of different markets. I've seen the ones where you list it and you get 20 offers the same day.
I mean, that COVID market was really, really, something different in my opinion. People call it special, but I call them like COVID agents, the agents that were seeing all the craze with everyone getting into real estate because of what you said. You put a listing on the market and 20 offers later, you have someone overpaying by 20, 30, 50,000 bucks in some cases. And then you have the tenured agents, the OGs that have been, even myself, I don't consider myself an OG, but I've been in it for, it's going to go on 7 years now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, like the agents that weren't used to 5-6% interest rates, that weren't used to doing open houses and realtor tours and broker opens, they're they're running for, some of them are running for the door now and going back to their previous jobs, or, you know what, I'm just doing this on the side. That's what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, there's a lot. It's crazy the amount of people that my friend told me he was making a ton of money.
Yeah.
And then they expect for people just to call them and, hey, can you list my house? Can you sell my house?
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, that's not the way it works. Not to say that new agents shouldn't be in real estate. You know, I mean, everybody should have the opportunity. I mean, that's fine. But I think the disconnect is new agents coming in either thinking or making it seem like it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's not easy by no stretch of the imagination. Is selling a house or having somebody commit to one of the biggest purchases they're ever going to make easy. It's not. And a lot of people, like going back to the way that you started about how people feel about us, there's a lot of people that are, there's more to real estate than what people see on social media. Social media is a lie. Social media is fake.
Okay.
It's a straight lie. Nobody's lie. Nobody posts the shitty days that they have. But everybody has shitty days. Everybody does. So the fact that you make a decision based on what I see this guy doing every day, or what I think he's doing, or what I think he's earning, or what I think he sold, or based on or because this guy has 20,000 followers and 12,000 of them are in India, like you know, you can't make decisions.
I saw what's it called? A post or a review, and you go, of course, online reviews. You're checking out online reviews, and a specific builder had a ton of reviews, and then one of the reviews said, "I didn't know so many people from India suddenly moved to El Paso," because it was like, "These great product I love," and it's like I went. So I mean, a brand. You're building a brand, right? You're building a brand when you're the way you market yourself, the way you're reaching out to the way you connect with the people that you work with,
right.
Whether it be a buyer, a seller, or even other agents. I mean, you and I have been in different brokerages. We've never necessarily been in the same brokerage, but we've kept a cool relationship through just, you know, knowing each other. Everyone, we don't necessarily talk every day, but it's like, hey, what's up? What's going on? How have you been? What are you doing? A little like here, a little share there, things like that. You send me some of your Democratic stuff. I send you some of my Republican stuff.
I don't know why you keep saying that. I'm not a Democrat.
No, I'm just kidding.
No politics.
But like I said, it's the relationships you build. You know, it's the relationships you build that you don't necessarily always have to be on the same team per se. And when I say the same team, it's the same builder, the same brokerage, the same anything. And you can still build relationships with different agents out there. What is a good piece of advice do you have for maybe, like you said, one of those agents that's looking at their friend's Instagram and saying, "Oh shit, and this person, I just saw that they just posted another $7,000 check. Maybe that's the business that I need to go into."
Right. I don't. You know, there's a group of there's a pair of agents that I talk to a lot every single day, and again, they're in different brokerages. She's in one brokerage, he's in another brokerage, and then, you know, I'm with my own. And I don't know. I mean, a lot of it goes back to just educating. It goes back to what the agent wants to portray. And I think there's a big disconnect between agents that run teams and brokers. There's a big difference, right? I think there's a lot of agents that mishandle their opportunity.
Okay.
Right? They make it seem like they're more than what they are. And I think a lot of those, you know, if you are one of those agents that maybe does that, it's probably because you're under a team that probably also mishandles that. A broker, you never see brokers do what regular agents or agents that lead teams do. There's a difference. And I think it comes down to educating. I think it comes down to training. I was talking about, you know, when I first started as a builder rep, I was in a training class in a physical classroom for 6 weeks. Before I even came out to a model, before I even spoke to someone, before I ever interacted with a up at anywhere, before I wrote a contract. Anyways, it was 6 weeks.
6 weeks of hard training.
Of hard training. And writing out the contract and understanding what you were doing, understanding what you needed to do and what the steps that it took to sell a house. Nowadays, you see somebody
Day one.
I represent a builder, and then they sit at the model and, come look at this beautiful $300,000 house, and they know nothing of the house.
Yeah.
I think, again, it goes back to you got to educate yourself. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're selling to be able to get people to get that confidence.
I think sometimes I thank both my training, myself, and so does the team, where the things that we do are so basic. Like you said, that 6 weeks training, it wasn't necessarily different drills or anything like that. It was just write out this contract, fill out this form, do this. And you're kind of being Mr. Miyagi'd. And then when it's your time to actually write up a contract with an actual person, a live person, you know what you're doing. You know what to put on line 3. You know what to put on line 4. And then sometimes you walk into some of these open houses or some of these for either used homes or new homes, and it's like an agent behind the computer just like, oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, what do you know about this house? Oh, you know what? I just needed somewhere to sit, and they let me, and hopefully you're dumb enough to buy it from me, and I'm going to make some money off of it. You know what I mean?
And
it happens.
And you talk about the wave, right? So it gets slow, right? And when it gets slow, it's when you're supposed to go back to basics, right? If you do it, right? The cold calling, the door knocking, your sphere of influence, all that. And agents that came in a year ago don't know any of that because it was, I'm listing my tia's house and it sold for 40 grand over. Yeah. Or buyers are just coming in and scooping up everything that you have available. And when it gets slow, they don't know what to do.
Same thing for new construction. I mean, we went through a little wave through the 2020. I mean, towards the end of 2020, I think just 2021 was crazy for everyone.
Yeah.
And every builder was like, you don't want it? You move out of the way and we got the next person ready, and that's the way it went. And then right now it's starting again to slow down. I mean, today we had, a call party, and everybody's like, oh, come on, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that?
People don't know.
We had, I think 7 or 9 agents came by, and I sent it to everyone, and I was like, hey, show up. And you're going to get leads, because through the different systems that we have here capturing leads, we had about 750 leads to come through. And even with those people showing up, and we were here from 9:30 to 11:30, we were only able to go through like 315 of the leads. But out of those, we were able to secure 20 appointments.
Yeah.
Listings or, but I really don't know where to start, things like that. But the agents, once they left, they're like, wait, we've never done anything like this. Some of them had, because they're more tenured, but the new ones are like.
And then again, so you make 300 phone calls, you get 20 appointments. Out of 20 appointments, law of numbers, 20 appointments, you get 10 buyers or listings. Out of those 10, 5 are going to bomb. Theoretically, you have 5 to play with. Yeah. People are going to listen to it and be like, damn, if I call 300, I'm going to get 10 listings. That's not the way it works.
Exactly.
You have to, and it's daily. Like this is a daily thing. People, agents wake up and go to the gym, and then after the gym they go to a closing, and then like they don't know that you spend time on the computer and following up and emails and phone calls and like.
Well, one of the biggest that I think is like a misconception is I'm going to become an agent so I don't have a boss. And I can just take some time off, and I can just
travel the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Travel the world and whatnot. And there is agents that are doing that, but at the same time, they're in debt with whatever commission systems there's out there. They owe their next 13 contracts to them and their their firstborn.
Yeah.
And then there's the agents that are actually doing it and treating it like a job. I show up to the office at 8:30 every single day. I drop off my kids at school, show up to the office with a game plan, And I think that's what's led to just different people's success.
Yeah.
Do you find success sitting at a model home, being that you're a tenured agent? And because I sometimes get the pushback of, well, it's never that busy. I think the new agents sometimes expect the model home to be kind of like a Walmart and like person after
just
person
line of
after
people
person
coming
after
in.
person.
Model homes aren't busy. Like they're not. Yes, as a builder, you try and pick a model that's going to be in the best location. Yes, but it's the agent's responsibility to make it busy. It's how you set up. It's who you're calling. It's what you're doing at the model. Yes, nobody showed up today at the model. Okay, that's fine. But did you call people? Did you do the stuff that you're supposed to do every morning to generate traffic through the model? And again, I think there's a little bit of, I don't know what you would call it. I think there's a little bit of laziness in some agents. They expect a brokerage is not, their job is not to just give you leads, right? I mean, it's I don't know why anybody would have that misunderstanding. It's your job to generate your own business. It's your job. That's just you. And nothing is more motivating than your bank account. Look at your bank account. If you got $13 in your bank account, you better call some people. Exactly. And nobody showed up to the model. Well, you bring people to the model. You didn't
bring anyone in.
Yeah. I think, I think again, back when we first started, we had really strong agent relationships, right? We had agent assists. If buyers aren't walking in, I'm calling fellow agents to see if they have leads, if they have buyers, and if they do, come check out our product. And I don't know that happens so much nowadays.
I think they're no longer thinking. I mean, personally, I think sometimes they don't see the benefit in it. They say, I mean, it's an agent assist. I'm gonna make, I don't know, anywhere between because we do anywhere between $500 to $1,500 depending on the house. So it's like, I'm only gonna make $1,500. And you look at it and it's like there's that.
But you're building a relationship.
Exactly.
You're building a relationship with an agent that you helped out. It's recurring business, because if you do it correctly, he's gonna keep bringing his people to you. If you have a buyer that needs a resale and he has a resale, again, you built a relationship. You might be able to get in there. You might have a stronger lead than some of the other ones. It's a relationship. It's building relationships with agents, and it's reoccurring business. That's really what it is.
When you talk building relationships, do you think, and I see, just because sometimes I see the agents go from one place to the other, to the other, to the other. And when I say place, it's like brokerages. It's like personally, before I became a broker, I moved maybe 3 times tops, but I already knew from the day that I got my license, I'm going to become a broker. And you've been with one brokerage.
I've never moved.
You're like Kobe, one team since the beginning. And do you think the brokerage makes or breaks the agent?
No.
Do you think it's something that an agent has that kind of meshes with the brokerage, and that's what helps you succeed a little bit? Or what kind of combination do you see there?
I think it comes down to the expectation. What do you expect? I don't expect anyone to give me anything. Not the model home. I mean, I've never been a part of a per se a team. Right. I've never been in a small team. I've had teams before.
Okay.
But I've always, it's been a brokerage, and our brokerage operates, I guess, as a team. But it depends on what you expect. I don't expect anything from anyone ever. I've never expected anything from a loan officer, from a title rep, from my broker, from other agents. I've never expected anyone. I could go to any brokerage that I wanted to. Not that I want to go anywhere, Lane. But I could go anywhere and be as successful as I am now, only because I expect myself to be successful. That's it.
Exactly.
I don't expect anything from anyone. And if you're jumping around, it's, to me, you don't plant roots somewhere. You don't fully understand the company or the culture, or honestly, maybe you're the problem. If you can't get along with that many brokerages, maybe you're the issue.
Exactly.
So, no, I don't think the brokerage makes or breaks you. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's one train of thought. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of think the same way. Like you're going to be good at XYZ brokerage, this one, the other one, but you're going to be good. And I think that's when brokerages are looking for you sometimes. Hey, come over here. But then I also think that there's some bonds at different brokerages that you see them from a distance. And like for me, for instance, I know that there's nothing that you can get offered here that is going to make you leave where you're at. Mm-hmm. Because of the loyalty, because of the relationship, camaraderie, just the years that you've had there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you understand what your role is to play there. And I commend you for that. You know, you understand the different roles you have had to play there, from team leader to team member and back and forth.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something really, really good for agents to think about when they're looking to make a change.
I mean, if you're looking to make a change, switching to a brokerage isn't going to make it better. Mm-hmm. When you're looking to make it, when you're down, right? When you're slow, or when you need to change something about your business, mm-hmm. you have to look within. You have to look to see what you're doing every day, and that's where it starts. It doesn't matter where you're at. You can go to XYZ. You can start at ABC and go to XYZ, and if you don't change what you do mm-hmm. every day, it's not gonna get any better. Nobody's gonna make it better for you. I guess that's, and you know, yeah, I get it. Some brokerages are nationwide, and this guy is cloud based, and mm-hmm. this guy doesn't. There's no cap in this one, and it's only a transaction. I mean, I get it. Yeah, you can cut corners here and there, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's about you and what you do every single day.
And there's always that one. I mean, I think both of us know this one agent that's always, this is the best brokerage, and this is the new one, man, and all. And then we all throw up a little pyramid, like, hey, we've seen this, we've seen you. Yeah. I've heard this spiel 4 brokerages ago, mm-hmm. and that's the pyramid scheme agent that's always going to be there. And whenever a new pyramid scheme comes along, they're going to come and pitch you. And sometimes like, hey, stop calling me for this one. Like, I didn't go 3 brokerages ago. What makes you
I mean, the phone calls are kind of funny.
Yeah, right?
I enjoy the phone call.
Yeah.
I like getting the phone call and at least listening to mm-hmm. it. It's not going to do anything, but you know.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I noticed, and probably a lot of people aren't aware, but some new hardware there, right here on your left hand.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that I met you when you were kind of single, and then now I see that, and you're full blown married man. Uh-huh. How's married life treating you, man?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. This is the happiest I've been in a long time. Yeah, no, she's great. She's I don't want to say she's like me, because there's a lot of things that we like. Mm-hmm. There's a big list of things that we like, but there's a lot of things that we're very different into. Okay. But I think that kind of keeps us it keeps everything interesting.
Yeah.
But no, she's awesome. She's fantastic. She just started her insurance agency. Mm-hmm. So anybody needs insurance, give her a call.
Boom. What's the name?
Jeanette.
What's the number?
She hasn't officially changed her name yet.
Okay.
And we're still working on that, but it's Jeanette Sosa Insurance Agency. She represents farmers.
Okay.
She used to be an agent. Mm-hmm. I met her actually, like 7 years ago, something like that, maybe 6, 7 years ago. Met her. I tried recruiting her into our brokerage. She felt that we were too stuck up. She felt that we thought too highly of ourselves, so she didn't switch. Mm-hmm. And then years later, we reconnected, and
you couldn't be happier now.
I could not be happier.
That's good, and I see it. I see it on your stories, traveling the world and things like that. You recently went to Paris, no?
Went to Paris for our honeymoon. So we it was between having a wedding.
Okay.
Well, it was between having a wedding. So I mean, she had an idea.
Okay.
And it was either have a wedding, moderate wedding, I mean, you know how expensive weddings are. So, so it was either have a wedding or take a trip. And we kind of weighed the options and just took a trip.
Took a trip?
Yeah. So
it's a lot funner.
It was. We spent a week in Paris.
Okay.
Checked it out. Did all the touristy things and all the non-touristy things. And it was cool.
I haven't been wanting to go, but they're going to make me go probably this year.
It's
when's kind of like the best time in your...
It's like the best. It's like the best trip I've ever taken. So it's basically, it's like going to Mexico. Mm-hmm. It's like going to Mexico, but a little more fufu.
Okay.
Like streets and people and it's not expensive. It's not like you could probably go to LA for a week. You could go to New York for a week and spend double what you do in Paris.
Really?
Yeah. It's not expensive. It's not expensive at all. There's a ton of things to do, like a million things you could check out. Like we were there for a week and had a full list of things to do every single day. One of the days we couldn't even go because she was still jet lagged. She couldn't, like, she was still kind of flipped around and she couldn't sleep. Like, she was sleeping during the day. Mm-hmm. So I think the second day, she couldn't make it out of bed. And, but no, it's not expensive at all. All. And even to be there, it's cool.
We'll probably make a trip out.
You should. We should make it a couple.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down for that. What else is going on in the life of Ozzie that you think El Paso needs to know about? I know that you're sometimes a very secluded guy, but what else is going on in the life of Ozzie?
Nah, I mean, primarily, really, it's just work. You know, I work a lot. I've kind of gone through the trials and tribulations of social media. Mm-hmm. I know so I'm at the point to where I share what I want to share. Okay. If I want you to know about it, I'm going to put it. If I don't want you to know about it, nobody's ever going to know. I mean, unless you were with me.
Yeah.
So it's work, really. I mean, we have a really good builder. We represent a great builder. Brokerage is great. I handle the property management for the company too. I think we're like...
bleep that out.
We're going to... so that's going really good. The last couple of months, we were working on opening up the insurance agency. Now that's up and running.
It's up and running.
So yeah, it's I think officially up and running for like 2 days.
Oh, snap.
So yeah, that ties us in. We have our 2 fur babies that keep us busy during the days. Family, friends, things like that. But primarily just work, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ozzie, it was great catching up with you today. We've been at it for like 35 minutes. And
really?
Yeah.
It was 10 minutes.
It went fast.
Man.
It went fast. And we started off here. We went through a whole bunch of different topics. And I think a lot of agents are going to like, the advice that they get from someone with your tenure, someone with your knowledge. And if anybody needs to reach out.
Yeah, no. One of the things I do want to tell new agents that are listening or watching or are gonna listen and watch is don't take anything. Like I hope I didn't piss anybody off. I hope I didn't get under anybody's skin. I hope you don't feel attacked. Mm-hmm. But like I
think the pyramid guy is gonna be attacked.
Well, I mean the pyramid guy always gets attacked, but. Like we're not old agents that are still faxing contracts. We've been around for a while. Just take the advice and kind of go back and look at what you're doing. Again, I understand social media runs the world right now, but do it for the industry, I guess. If they need to get in contact with me, I'm not gonna. Everybody can look it up. I'm not gonna pitch my number and. Look me up on Instagram.
Look them up on Instagram.
DM me on Instagram. That's it.
Facebook, Snapface, all Facebook, that other stuff.
Facebook's all the boring work stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to get a hold of me, just DM me on Instagram. I'm there.
There it is. Ozzie Chavez, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, man.
My pleasure.
Cool.